and you are watching Gov's Radio. This is where you go if you want to see something or if you want to hear something funny. Coming up in just a couple minutes. This is a joke I told. What? I'm not on Gov Radio? Call the police. Call my agent.
Tony, welcome to Gov.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
I gotta pat you down though, pal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Got anything on you? Anything I should know?
I got nothing.
Anything weird going on? What? Alright, you go in, Tony. Good.
Thanks, Joe. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Tom Kelly of The Tom Kelly Show. Yes, this is not the only time I've gotten on my knees in the back room of a comedy club.
The Knock 'em Dead Comedy Radio Show is also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. Give Two Eagles Auto Body a call and please ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527. That's 516-328-2527.
Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony on the Knock 'em Dead Radio Show. They're gonna keep knocking 'em dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, at Knock 'em Dead Comedy Radio.
I just want to say thanks for making my millennium. Oh my gosh. Well, it's a love fest.
Yeah, you heard that story.
Yeah.
So I guess, should I tell it again?
Oh, yeah, if you want. I mean, yeah.
You know, you guys are into comedy. Does it really help when somebody gives the punchline?
From Morocco, and I moved to America 12 years ago. And when I came to this country, I came with nothing but my parents' full and unconditional financial support. That's all I had. The rest, I fucking figured it out. You know, and look what has become of me.
A comedy king, baby. Do you know how much money I've made doing comedy in the last 4 years? I owe my grandma $3,000.
So I was raised very religious. So like whenever I wore a tank top, my father, he would make me feel like a whore, okay? He'd be like, you change. So like I would change into a turtleneck, and then I went out and blew everybody. Yes. Okay? The turtleneck. Ooh. It really comes in handy when you're cleaning off your chin.
No fun getting older. Recently went to CVS to buy condoms. The cashier looks at me and goes, are you kidding me? I was so mad. I said, what, I'm too old to buy condoms? I'm not virile enough to buy condoms? She goes, no, your coupon expired.
Guys, if I'm not shitting on my kids, I'm shitting on my husband, because it's hard. We have like a language barrier. I'm in a mixed marriage. I'm Italian. He is an asshole. So, my kids are part asshole.
Hi, everybody. It is Wednesday. Welcome to the Knock 'em Dead Comedy Show here on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. I have no reason for playing this. I just felt like it. This is such a great tune. Sly Stone, who passed away a week or two ago. Thanks for joining us here on the Knock 'em Dead Comedy Show here on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. Please share the link on all your socials. Please subscribe. Please follow the YouTube channel, the Facebook page, all that good stuff. Do all the social media stuff that we need you to do so we can build this channel up. We appreciate the support. The Knock 'em Dead Comedy Show coming at you live from the legendary Governor's Comedy Club here in Levittown. Michael is here. Whoops. And there you go. So we got a lot to do here today. Thanks for joining us. Let me just fix this. Okay. Let me get over to the page, see who's watching. Please comment throughout the show. We love hearing from you guys. And let's see. John Rusiello. Good morning, gentlemen. My man Mike is in the house, he says. Oh, he's being very nice to you so far today.
That could change on a dime.
Oh, and I'm sure it will.
Yes, it will.
I'm sure we'll find a reason. All right. So, all right, you want to do this? We'll get this out of the way?
Sure.
All right. We have to beat Mike up today. We have to. All right, so as you know, there's a story involving Joey Cola that we've shared many times on this show that I'd like to beat Mike for doing it. I like to beat him, excuse me, for sharing this story. Last week on the show, he came in here with his daughter Ava, his bonus daughter Ava, and he actually said that I enjoyed it, and I immediately said no, I did not. So, the reason I'm bringing all this up is because I'm going to play a video that kind of picks up from here. A guy, Charlie, who's a comedian, came in and joined me and Don the other night in the studio. All right, I'm just going to play the video. Mike comes in here on Wednesdays. He feels the need to tell the story sometimes. He's told it to Bartlett. He's told it to Bales, Jackie the Joke Man. Like
Why should you be proud of that?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. He's proud that he heckled
the
comic.
So
Allegedly.
Charlie comes in here before. We've never met Charlie before. This is the first time we were ever meeting him. We're getting ready to go on the air. He walks in. He goes, I watched your show the other day and I want to kill your friend. And I was like, what the fuck? So take it from there, Charlie.
He said that Joey Cola that night wasn't funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. He brought me into comedy.
Joey Cola is never not funny.
He will Governors, this place on a Tuesday night he would host the show.
Right.
Pack the place. They didn't care about us. They cared about him.
Right. They came to see Joey
They
Cola.
came out to see him, and he was doing all types of stuff. I mean, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Every single night, wherever he's at.
He's a killer.
He's one of those people that, if you're in the comedy business, you're starting out, that's the person you watch.
Not only do you watch him, but he is the nicest guy in the world. Mike comes in here on Wednesdays. All right, so there you have it. That was Charlie. Joining us in that video was Don Sill and Emily Santosis. Yeah, that is true. I was just telling Mike before we went on the air. Me and Don were sitting here Saturday night waiting to go on the air, and Charlie walks into the studio. He points right at me. He goes, I watch your show, and I'm going to kill your friend. And I was like, and I didn't know who Charlie was. I never heard of him, to be honest with you. I never saw him before until that night. And I had no idea what he was talking about. And then he clarified. So, yeah, apparently that story and then some other comments about comedy clubs in general kind of made the rounds around here since last Wednesday. So I threatened Mike, and I wrecked his car, and I beat up his girlfriend. But then Mike said, no need to do all that. I'll come in and we'll talk about it. I said, all right, that's a great idea. And Romeo actually he actually suggested that Mike come in here and apologize to save, to put all this to bed. And I thought that was a great idea. All right. With that, the floor is yours, Michael Kaplan.
The floor is mine. Okay. First of all, I want to apologize to you for causing any undue strife. I want to apologize to Joey Cola. And what I really wanted to say was, I have respect for anybody that gets on stage. You know, being someone that has been in front of an audience, I know what is involved, the preparation, the hard work, any superlatives that go into performing.
See, but you're losing all the comics when you use big words.
Okay. So it's just my shtick. You know, every week you put up, here comes gloom and doom Mike, right? It is kind of my shtick. I never said Joey Cola wasn't funny. What I said was, which was 25 years ago, I said when we were there at Governor's on 112.
Right, that's what Charlie said. He said the guy said Joey Cola was not funny that night. So he had it.
So if I apologize, first of all, I always apologize. I always take accountability in everything I do in life. So with that said, first of all, Governors, when I campaigned, I don't know if you know this. I think you do. Yeah, because you were supposed to be the host. I've the greatest respect for this place. When I was campaigning a year and a half ago, I had a fundraiser at McGuire's in Bohemia, and they did a great job. Fat Jay was there, Mary Capone was there, and the comedians were awesome. You know, it was a great night. So I love this place. I love your show. I can't apologize enough for insulting someone, especially someone like Joey Cola, and getting. I don't know this gentleman's name, Charlie.
Yes,
he was very wound up.
Yeah, you think? I think it was that bad. But there seems to be a running theme on this show with people named Charlie. But
yeah,
he was definitely more worked up when he first walked in. So I will admit I was a little. I don't want to say scared, but I was definitely a little nervous. Like, who is this guy and what's happening in here? He was definitely more worked up before we went on the air. But like he said, I don't know if he has a personal history with Joey Cola, but he's obviously known who he is for years. And Joey Cola. Charlie said Tuesdays. I think it was Wednesday nights. Joey used to host an open mic at Governor's. This is going back years ago. But I think that's what Charlie was talking about. So Charlie's been, he looked like, actually, I think he told us his age. He's probably, I think, a little older than you are. Maybe a year or two older than you. So he probably goes back to, Joey Cola started to pop in the early 80s, and Charlie was probably, taking notice of that stuff at that time. He's been around long enough to. I mean, I remember Joey Cola in the 80s, and Charlie's older than me, so I'm sure he remembers. But it sounds like, he made it sound like he was around when Joey Cola was hosting the open mic. So he obviously, point being, I'm rambling. He definitely has some kind of history with Joey Cola.
Right.
And he definitely, I don't want to say took it personally, but it definitely hit a nerve.
Yeah,
Definitely
I see that, yeah.
He was the only one that came in here to talk about it, but like I said, it definitely made the rounds. I had 2 or 3 others had asked, well, not so much one or two may have asked about the Joey, but it was the other part about comedy clubs. That was the one that kind of made the rounds around here. I've had people come in here and say stuff that they shouldn't say, and I appreciate you singling me out because it makes me look like I don't have control in here. So I've had guys in here screaming and complaining about getting switched from one club to another. I've had guys in here, promoting other clubs. Some of the comedians, when they come in, they'll talk about a governor's show, but then they'll bring up other shows that they have in other places. And I do get slack from the club. And honestly, rightly so. I mean, sometimes I do feel, they're in here and they are performing here, especially the regulars. They're part of the family. Why not support them and give them an opportunity to push other shows? But at the same time, I can understand where Governors is coming from. You got so many dumpy dive places trying to put on comedy shows, and that makes Governors look bad. So so I appreciate it, and I'm trying to keep control. I'm trying to keep this thing going. I've been putting so much into this since for over 7 years. So I'm
I'm sorry to
no, not at all.
Interject. One of the reasons I wanted to apologize emphatically is because of the work that you've done here, and plus me being the humble person that I am, and like I said, I take accountability for my actions, and I apologize greatly.
Thank you. You're welcome. What the hell was I about to say? Oh well, I do. I do. I spend a lot of time in here trying to make it happen, but it is, people. It is the guests. It is the people that come in here regularly. It's the co-hosts that, I feel make it work. Especially our current co-hosts. But of course, even credit to everybody that's ever been a co-host in here: Andy Plajanos, Rich Rada, Sally O'Neill, Eric Shevlin. But Rich Rada, did I say Rich Rada? I might have. All of them were great co-hosts, and that includes now Mike and Diane and Rosie and Jeff and Tyler and Frank on Thursdays. So it's So it's a team effort, which is why we don't want anybody being stupid. Yeah, Scott says that I should bite him. Fremder, stay. Because Bosey, what did Bosey say? Happy Hot as Held Part 3 Day. Yeah, it's another boiler out there. Fremder, if you're hot, stay out of the corner. It's 90 degrees in the corner. Scott, I don't understand. Mike likes Rodney Dangerfield. Joey Cola is more old school. Every comedian has great nights and not so good nights. I think Mike liked playing the villain to make Tony the hero. I agree with you, Scott. I don't think that was your intention that night with Joey Cola, but I think other times in this room, Mike does enjoy playing the villain. He does enjoy the challenge of getting these guys trying to make them laugh. Absolutely. But you're right. You bring up an interesting point, Scott. Joey Cola is very much, in my opinion, I agree with you. He is kind of old school like Rodney. I'm almost positive that he knew Rodney. I was surprised. And my memory is different of that night. My memory serves the place rolling. I remember right behind you was a guy wearing like a blue like shirt, but it was like ocean design and waves, and it was all blue and white, very similar, but oceanic. And I remember Joey Cola turning to him and said, "What is that shirt? You look like my pool liner." I
vaguely
laughed
remember
my
that line.
ass off, and I held on to that, and I've stolen that line in Murder Mysteries when I'm or stand up when I'm doing crowd work, and I see somebody with a shirt that's that could pass for that. Mm-hmm. What are you wearing? My shirt, my pool liner? I thought that was just hilarious. That was the first time I ever saw Joey. Was that when we went that night? I thought he was hilarious. I was thrilled to see him because I had known who he was forever, seen him on TV many times. The half-hour comedy hour and VH1 comedy spotlight or something like that. It was called on VH1. He had made the rounds, and I hadn't seen him here. I used to come to this club regularly in my 20s, and I never got to see Joey. So that was 20-something years ago. So I think I was around. Well, we started it in what, 2002? Is that when we started?
2002, so it's about 23.
So I was 32.
Years ago. Yeah.
So that was the first time I saw Joe. I remember, was it that day or was it a day or two earlier that we went to Governor's? Because we were doing a murder mystery.
Yes.
We went there to I guess, do contracts or just discuss details with the owner.
Discuss the details, and they said you want to stay for the show.
Well, Joey was there.
Yeah.
He was at we went to meet the guy, and the guy was sitting there talking to Joey.
Okay.
And that was... and I just recently found out at that time that I have cousins that grew up with him, and I had no idea until just shortly before that. So I do remember mentioning my cousins to him, and he said, "Oh, okay, yeah, very nice." And then they offered us. So it was the same day.
Yes.
So we went for the meeting, and then the show was that night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And yeah, we brought our wives. My wife was the same. Yours was, I think, 15 wives ago.
Yes. 16.
I remember having laughing my ass off. That's how I remember it. I mean, now I've seen Joey in double digits. I can tell you half his act, but he's up there. I mean, Rodney too. Rodney did the same act. If I'm not mistaken, the last 30 years of his life, he did the same act. He didn't update a single joke.
No, because as you know, I scroll a lot of his things, and the last several years, like on Johnny Carson, they were the same jokes. They were all the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just flip-flopped them here and there. He put them in different spots. Excuse me, but yeah.
And Joey doesn't do that. He still has new stuff, but he'll do his greatest hits, basically. And I still laugh my ass off. So, and I'm sure if Joey was sitting there, he would say he's had plenty of bad nights. But he tells a great story where he had a panic attack in the middle, just as he was starting the show once, and he totally froze, couldn't get a single word out, and some people kind of noticed that something was wrong, so they took him off stage. But when he's on, he's always on. So Scott says it's good for radio to have some controversy. Fremder saying stuff they shouldn't say. What's that like? Scott says he's glad Mike is not a yes man. Hello, Ann. Ann is watching now. John's all excited. Oh, she says happy hump day. She said that to
that's
John.
right. Humping heals all,
John, just calm down.
You do know that, right?
Of course I do.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, without a doubt. Fremder, happy Whack It Wednesday. After the show, I'm going to beat it like it owes me money. What? Wow. Why did I read that? Scott, I think you two should hug it out and hold on to each other slightly too long until the audience starts laughing on the chat. No. Wait a minute. Rodney repeats his jokes. Says something. Well, and there's nothing for us to hug out there, Scott. We didn't have an issue.
Right.
So Mike needs to go outside and hug the building, hug the club, and hug Joey Cola if he ever sees him. But I'm still not convinced that's a good thing if Mike bumps into Joey Cola. So we'll see. All right. With that, done. All right. And we just move on. Showed you the video. Mike apologizes.
Getting back to one of Fremder's jokes there, I think he said.
Yeah.
Hockey arenas. The end boards, they're rounded.
Okay.
You know why they're rounded?
No.
Because if they were 90 degrees, it would melt the ice.
My goodness gracious.
All right.
Why are libraries so tall?
They have a lot of books.
They have a lot of stories.
They have a lot of stories. I don't know. I hope I'm not offending anyone.
Are you going to say that all day now?
Yeah, I'm going to say that for as long as I'm here every week.
I'm going to get that bat and crack it over your head.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a little afraid of that bat.
Should be.
A blonde woman walks into a library.
Okay.
She walks up to the head librarian.
Yeah.
And says, "Ma'am, I would like a cheeseburger and fries." And the librarian is looking at her like, this woman's out of her mind.
Yeah.
And she goes, "I beg your pardon, but this is a library?" So the blonde woman says, "Oh, I'm sorry. Can I have a cheeseburger and fries?"
That's very good. I like that. Yeah. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. This is Bad Joke Wednesday, am I correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So what comes after 69?
A cigarette in the shower.
What did he say?
He said a cigarette and a shower.
What's your answer, Mr. Walker?
What comes after 69?
I think you just said it.
A towel to clean it up. I don't know.
Mouthwash.
Why is 77 better than 69?
Oh, because you get 8. I know the answer. I'm sorry.
Did you hang up? Did he hang up?
He hung up.
Wow. What? Oh, I'll leave him wanting
And
more.
I love,
Is that what that was?
I love that joke. Yeah, because you get 8 more.
You get 8 more.
Yeah, I love that.
What's the joke here? I can remember the punchline, but I can't remember the setup. What's a 68?
I have no idea.
You do me and I owe you one. Something like that. I forget. Why doesn't it hurt? Why doesn't it hurt if someone throws a can of Coke at your head?
Why doesn't it hurt?
Yeah.
I go back to the song, the Coca-Cola song.
I like to buy the world of Coke.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why.
Because there's a song? Because it's a soft drink.
Oh, God, help me.
But I'll tell you, I'm a witness.
That's pretty good. I love it.
See, are you going to call and hang up all morning?
Well, no, I hung up because I don't want to offend anybody by this joke.
Well, too late.
People might get offended, so I ran away.
I hung up on you. Take that. But I'm a witness. I think I may have told you the story. I went to see The Who once, where a guy threw a full unopened bottle of Coke. Right? He was sitting a few rows. We were on the side of the stage. Guy was only like maybe 3 rows directly under me there, and he went like this with a unopened bottle of Coke. Right? And I watched it. It was like slow motion. I watched this thing go flying in the air. Goes flying. Boom! Right on Roger Daltrey's forearm as he's singing. I'll never forget it. In fact, I think there's video of it on YouTube. Roger Daltrey was in fucking pain, and he's looking around, and our section, people, all sorts of people pointing at the guy. Roger Daltrey, who I know a lot about the Who. Roger Daltrey he's a fighter. He doesn't take shit. He's very quick to go to fisticuffs. He tried to get to this guy. This also might have been 2002. Actually, now that I think about it. But yeah, he was. So I'll be the first to tell you, soft drinks hurt. That's my useless story of the day right there. Did you hear Did you hear about the guy who was addicted to the hokey pokey?
Oh, he couldn't turn it around, could he?
He turned himself around.
He turns himself around.
So stupid. Speaking of jokes, I went to the Met game last night.
Oh God.
They're winning 3-0, and I think it was the 6th inning.
Mm-hmm.
They gave up 5 runs to Atlanta, and then Atlanta just scored more and more the rest of the game. And then the Mets tried to come back in the bottom of the 9th. I think they scored 1 run or 2 runs. I forget now, but bottom line is they lost. So that's
This is beyond a slump to me for some reason.
No, they've had worse, believe it or not.
No, I know, because I've been I've been following the Yankees and the Mets basically my whole life.
Yes,
and I've seen Met collapses, but they're just this feels different. I don't know.
Yeah,
it just feels different. I've been to a couple of games already this year.
What worries me,
they look kind of they're flat.
They're playing bad baseball.
They're playing bad baseball.
Well, last night wasn't bad. Last night was flat. It wasn't bad baseball. It was flat, but for the most part, it's really just bad mistakes, bad errors. But what's scaring me is the pitching. These guys, we're 2 weeks away from the halfway point, and these guys are showing signs of fatigue.
Yes,
and that's bad.
That's bad. Because the first couple months of the season, they were elite.
Right.
Elite.
We have last night Frankie Matos made his first start of the season due to injury, so hopefully he'll be all right.
But he looked good.
He did look good. He gave up 3 runs and he was already out.
He gave up.
Right, he was already
runs.
Right, he was already out. You're right.
3 hits, no runs.
Right. So he did a nice job. Sean Manaea should be coming back soon.
He had a setback, Sean Manaea.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't hear that.
A setback. Yeah, they put him back. He can't pitch. He can't throw for another couple days.
Oh, when did they say that? Yesterday? Oh, yeah, I missed that. Oh, that sucks.
Because I listened to the fan,
Peter Schwartz,
and Boomer, who was a big Met fan, and he was saying the same thing the other day. It doesn't feel like a regular Met collapse / slump. They started getting into maybe something in the clubhouse. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, they did. They sent Alvarez down. They sent Acuna down, which
and I
surprised
love
me.
Alvarez. He's some catcher. But the other day he had a really bad game.
Yes, where they had that guy in the rundown and he threw behind the guy. Yeah. There was that other thing with mixed signals with the pitcher.
There was a couple balls he didn't block. Yeah,
he's
got an arm.
But that's why I think that's why they sent him down, because his defense I think is what was keeping him here, because his bat has just sucked.
Yeah,
but he's been sloppy behind the plate, so I think they said, okay, let him clear his head. Let's get him out of here, which I think was the right move.
Well, let me ask you something. How well do you know this manager?
Mendoza?
Yeah.
Well,
where did he come from?
You're killing me. You are killing me.
Well, I'm testing you.
I know where he came from. He was with the Yankees. You should know that.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, people on the fan were some callers were questioning why. Maybe it's a little bit on him. I don't know.
I wouldn't.
Ultimately, it is up to the players to execute.
Yeah. I wouldn't put it on him yet. I mean, he's only in his second season as manager, and last year was a great year.
All right, so let me do the flip side. The Yankees are playing very bad ball as well.
Yeah.
And they're killing Aaron Boone.
Yankee fans have been creaming Boone since he's been there.
Yeah,
Yankee
I
fans
was never
do not
a big
like
Aaron
him.
Boone fan.
But I don't know. It's that too. I feel it's premature. He got them to the World Series last year.
Mm-hmm.
Enough said. You can't top that. You can't argue that. So, and Mendoza too. We were 1 game away from the World Series last year. These guys deserve at least 1 season after that.
I agree.
So, yeah, I do think I mean,
that's make me nervous the way they're playing the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's awful. It's just awful.
The only one that you could really count on every day is my man Francisco. Even though the Dodgers here, he was like 0 for 13 or whatever he was, but he plays his ass off every single
Well, he
night.
hustles, yeah, but Nimmo hustles too. Plenty of guys
Yeah,
hustle.
they
Tyrone
do.
Taylor. But no, Lindorsman's stinging up the joint too. he got the last out last night with 2 men on base. He was the tying run.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
If he 7-4 was the final. If Lindor hit one out, he would have tied the game. Or at least hit a double or something to keep the game going.
Keep it going. Keep the
but
line
no,
moving.
he was one that ended the game last night. Let's see. Can you guys put your heads together, look to the left, and cough? Yeah, there's a lot of clearing of the throats and coughing when the two of us are in here together.
Are we allowed to say dirty jokes?
Yes. You can't cheat and look up jokes. Well, I've been doing that. I do that every Wednesday, Fremder.
What did one ball say to the other ball?
What?
Ignore the guy in the middle because he's a real dick. No?
What did one ovary say to the other?
Oh, you see the guy swimming by?
Oh.
That's not a bad punchline.
That's all right. Did you order any furniture? No. Why? Because I think I screwed that up. There's two bald guys trying to get an organ in here? Something like that. I totally screwed it up. Scott, Bad Joke Wednesday. My wife is a huge squirter this time of year. She's a big fan of water guns. Is Scott just another name for Fremder? Fremder, whenever I'm at the gym, I always make sure to do cock push-ups because you never know when they're going to come in handy.
Oh. I had a rough morning this morning, you know.
How rough was it?
Oh, it was so rough. You know, I was doing push-ups in the nude, and I didn't see the mouse trap. You don't get it?
I get it.
Oh.
What? Friend, I'm not reading that one. I don't get it, but I'm not reading it. Time to bring up the farm team, says Rusiello. Both Mets and Yankees. Good morning, guys, says Carol Miner. Hello, Carol Miner.
Carol Miner.
All right, friend, the dot between a 6.9 is a period that gets in the way of a good time.
Oh, dear God.
Wow. Oh, so let me show you. I'll show you some pictures from the game last night. Boom. There's me and Lee. This was a Christmas gift to me from Lisa. So she said she would like to come with me. Yeah, we had nice seats, right? We were, if you look between us, you'll see the Mets dugout through the railings there. Yeah, so we had really nice seats.
It was cold out last night, right?
Our asses were fucking drenched sitting in those seats.
Wow.
We eventually. Oh, you know what? So all right. So I'll show you this picture as well. Let me finish showing you the pictures, and then I'll tell a little story.
That's a nice picture.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
I like this next one even more. Mets Hall of Fame, Mookie Wilson. There's his plaque there, and I was wearing my Mookie shirt. Love the Mookster. All right, and then walking around.
Did you say Jose Reyes? He was being interviewed by
Yes.
NY.
While they were being interviewed, I looked down and I could see them.
Oh, you saw?
Yeah, that was cool. So, if you look at this picture, how do you not recognize the man in the middle there? And I'll zoom in. Whoa, what the hell did I just do? There it is. Not the guy stuffing his face, not the Spanish guy, but right there in the middle. Chris Monty was hanging out at the game yesterday.
Wow.
Chris Monty and his dad sitting not too far from us, so I walked over to say hello. He took that picture before he knew I was there. But, Chris
Can
Monty.
I ask who Chris Monty is?
Chris Monty is a great comedian who's been a regular at Governor's for many, 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 many years. And a frequent guest in the studio on many different shows. And one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. And I felt bad for Chris. Apparently, Chris is bad luck because the Mets lost. It was supposed to be, he has two daughters. Chris is, I think, 50, 51. He has two daughters that are like, I think his oldest is 5. The other one is like 2 or something.
Wow.
Like he's very stupid. He had kids late. So the Mets lost at a game he went to. It was supposed to be his daughter's first Met game, but because of the heat, they decided not to go. So he brought bad luck to his daughters. Then he was supposed to. So he had 4 tickets. He was supposed to just take a buddy of his. The buddy then calls Chris, says, I can't go. I have to take my wife to the hospital. She has some medical issues. So I'm like, man, Chris is just bad luck. So stay away from Chris Monty. He'll come see him at the club because he's one of the best comedians out there. He's also an actor. He had a part in Mall Cop 2, I think it was.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's this, I think it was 2. Are you familiar with these movies?
Oh, yeah.
There's a scene
I
where
know the first one I watched.
I forget if it was the first or second one. There's a scene where he's like testing out these scooters that everybody has now.
Uh-huh.
You remember this scene by any chance? And he ends up like speeding up and crashing into shit. Chris Monty was like the salesman for these scooters. He's been on I think he was even on King of Queens once. I'll get back to him in a second. Mark Hirschman of Hershey and the Keegs. Hi, pal.
Well, I hear you saying Chris Monty is one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Do you ever say that about me on the air? Because I feel like I merit it. I'm just curious if you ever say it.
Well, I think I have, but now that you're actually calling to make demands and say that you merit it, you've actually lost a few points.
Fair enough.
I've never met you, but you sound like a very nice young man.
You're both Jewish. So
good. Well, at least I like one of you right now, Tony, and it's not you. I have to say, though, let's talk. Monty is one of my dearest friends, one of my oldest friends in stand-up, and we're very close. We probably text almost every single day.
Okay.
I do like the logic, though, that Chris and his wife, and Chris, I think, is actually 53, I believe, not 51. Okay. Yeah, because I'm going to be 54 in August, and he's 1 year younger than me.
Oh, okay. So
he's either 53 or almost. So he did have kids supremely late, but that's his own problem, not ours.
Thank God.
What I did find interesting, though, was I didn't know the backstory until you just said it, that him and his wife, Kristen, who's another friend of mine, lovely woman.
She's wonderful. I love his wife.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful. We've been out to dinner, Stacy and I, and him and his wife. They made the very mature decision to not take, his young daughter there for health reasons, but instead they brought his 83-year-old father.
Well, I like how he. First off, he would have brought the kids. He said the kids were the ones that said that they didn't want to go out and they wanted to stay in the pool. So he was actually going to take them. Okay. and then he asked another friend. He asked his brother. And so basically, not only did he bring his 83-year-old father and endanger his life, but basically he took him because he basically had nobody left to take. I mean,
it's interesting.
I noticed your phone didn't ring though. I noticed that.
So did your phone ring? I'm curious because you would have been a call that I would have made if I had Mets tickets.
No, my phone. I didn't know he was there until you told me.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, not that I would have gone to a game of any variety when it was Africa hot last night, but the fact that his father, who's a lovely man, John Montroni, the fact that they gutted it out there, I felt bad for all you guys because my team can't win, your team can't win. It's hot, it's cranky.
They pussied out, by the way. They left after the 7th inning.
It pussied out when the guy you brought was born in 1911. It's okay that you.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I would say he did a pretty fucking good job.
No, you might say that. I wouldn't.
Yeah. My plan was to get over to there today. I had to drop a couple of things off. In my great run of luck, we had a pipe burst last night in my house. I had a restoration company here ripping up floors and ceilings and roofs and the whole 9 yards.
I've been there. That sucks.
Yeah, it's a shit sandwich, but it just goes par for the course. You and Mike, your show is going to end what time? At 12:30?
Correct.
And you're leaving the premises because there's something I wanted to give you also. When are you leaving the premises by?
I'll be out of here 1 o'clock the latest.
Okay.
Tomorrow I'm here again to do my show, and then I'm here later because Peter comes in right after me. So I'll be here tomorrow.
Okay. All right. So I might get over there before 1. If not, then I'll just get over there tomorrow.
Okay.
Because I got to pick up a donation packet for the club. I have something for Gravestone. I have something for you. So Okay, very
Cool.
good. Well, I'll leave you you two. The show sounds terrific. So keep up the good work. Although, with all due respect to Mike, who's a very handsome man, turning it on and seeing either Diane Fogarty or Rosie Shumara from an eye standpoint is definitely more pleasing than you two.
Yeah. No argument there, pal.
Yeah. So, but you guys enjoy. I'll either see you today or tomorrow, Tone.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks,
All right,
Mark.
buddy. Take
See you,
care.
man.
Bye now. Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Mark Hirschman checking in. Always a lot of laughs when he checks in. He's so good at ball busting. I love.
He's
like you guys have no idea. He doesn't really show that too much on his show, Hershey and the Keegs, Tuesdays at 9. But and thank you to Hershey and the Keegs and to Chris Roach, who do their shows Tuesday nights. They had to skip a week because I went to the game last night. Hershey and the Keegs will be on this coming Tuesday. However, I don't believe there's Keegs. I believe it'll just be Hershey this Tuesday. Mike, I think, has a gig or something. So who said great photos? I think that was it, John. Great photos, Tony. Oh, Ann said that. Thank you, Ann. So all right. So we covered Monty. So yeah, it was hot as balls. Our asses were sweating in those seats. We did have a slight breeze, but I think it was the 6th inning, 5th or 6th inning, where we said, okay, let's go walk somewhere because our tickets included passes to certain clubs.
Right.
It's like, oh, let's go check this out. Maybe it'll be air conditioned. So we started walking. That's when we found Monty. Then I walked some more. I went to section 135 where another friend of mine was sitting. Couldn't find him, so I was like, all right, screw him. I found out today he's in 137. I was like, thanks for telling me the wrong section, you moron.
He did it on purpose.
Probably. I even said that to Monty. I texted him. I said, I'm coming. I said, change your seats now. Here I come. But so I took your advice. So if you look at this picture of me and Lisa, can you see it? Yeah. If you look like right in the middle.
Yeah.
You can see it out there in left field. You can see like the reflection of glass. You see right by the orange foul pole there, you see like a reflection. Behind that glass is a club. The Metro Club, I think it's called.
It's the Metropolitan Market / Club. Still really don't know the name.
So you had said a few weeks ago that one of the games you went to, you guys sat right at the glass and you watched the game.
Yeah, may I expound on the story?
Of course you can expound.
So we went to the game. I forgot. Oh, it was
the Mets.
It was Hello Kitty night, so it was crowded, right? So we got a really cool Hello
You should
Kitty.
apologize for that too, by the way.
Why?
Collecting a Hello Kitty. You're 60 years old. What?
Anyway, so we go to the game, and we have standing room only tickets. They were $12 a piece.
Oh, right. Remember you saying that?
Yeah. So we're walking around, and I'm asking an usher where these picnic tables are. I don't know. And he goes, just go up to the Metro Club up there. So we go up this escalator, and we go. Last year it was a restaurant.
Right.
So we're going there. We happen to find a table. It's all tables.
So anybody can go in there? Like
anybody can go in there.
Oh, because some of the clubs you have to pay extra.
You don't. Yeah, there's no pass. You don't need anything. So we found the table. Wasn't on the glass. We're sitting there eating. So I'm looking around, and I say to Jen, I said, when that table opens up on the glass, we're gonna go over there. And this couple left. We went over there. We watched the game. We were like basically right over Nemo.
Oh, nice.
It was awesome. Air conditioned.
Yes. So that was the nice part. So
and we did it again.
We were. Oh, you did
Pride
it
night.
when you went Pride Night.
Yeah.
Well, I figured you went to the bathhouse at Citi Field that night. So we.
I don't know where that one is.
Oh, yes, you do. But we were, because it was so hot, and by the time we walked over to Monty, and I mean, you saw how far it is from where we were sitting.
Yeah.
So, and me with the leg, by the time we walked over there, we were both kind of shot already. The air conditioning wasn't blasting, but it was definitely better.
So you went in there?
We did go in there.
Okay.
And actually, it was Lisa's idea, which shocked me, because Lisa, when we had our old house, we had a pool. And I think she went in a handful of times. Lisa loves 90-degree weather. anything below like 88, she's wearing a sweater. Like it's crazy to me.
Yeah.
And like she hates the summer because we're in the house blasting the AC, and she hates it. She hates the AC. She's not human. So
I have a story that I'm going to defend her, but go ahead.
Okay. So, but she was the one. She's like, "Yeah, we got to get in some air conditioning." Like, holy shit! Because it was hot, but it was. Yeah, I mean, they said with the heat index, the heat index made it feel like 105 at one point yesterday. So we go in there, and it wasn't blasting, but it definitely felt better than outside. So, and same thing, we were kind of hanging out, behind people looking through the glass. Then a couple gets up right near us. I'm like, let's get over there. So we sit. So same thing. We're up against the glass.
Nice.
But there's 2 levels.
There's actually 2 or 3 or 4 levels. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we're on, I think, the highest level.
The highest one. Yeah.
So I mean, same thing. Still over Nimmo. Still against the glass, but there's still like another.
There's another.
The lower
row.
section comes out more, and then they're against the glass. So
you can get to that level. You can't go to the one underneath it because that's a party.
Right.
level.
That's what they told us. So we were. Yeah, we were at the highest level, and they told us we couldn't go any lower because of private parties. We're like, oh, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy it. You couldn't hear.
I know
the stadium.
You don't hear the crowd.
You can hear the broadcast.
You could
Gary
hear the broadcast.
Cohen. So I'm like, I may as well be home. So I said to Lisa, like, we stayed there for maybe an inning or maybe 2 innings, and that's what I said to Lisa. I said, I don't feel like I'm at the game. So she said, "Oh, do you want to go back to our seats?" I said, "Yeah, I think I do."
Yeah.
At that point, the sun had gone down, not all the way, but enough that a breeze had kicked in.
Yeah.
So we went back to our seats, and there was a nice breeze.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. And there were these guys in our seats because we were gone for a good 2 or 3 innings, so people probably thought we left.
Yeah.
When we came back, the usher had to kick these guys out of because I didn't just sit anywhere. We had the handicap seats. So it's more spacious. Some of them are cushioned, so it's better for me. So I always get handicap seats. So
nice.
So we sat back in our seats, but the guys that were sitting there, they split up. So now one was on one side of Lisa, one guy was right next to me. Sitting there for maybe half the inning, and the guy turns to me and says, "What happened to your leg?" We get into this long conversation about the leg, about sickness, about God and Jesus. It was actually a very interesting conversation. Had a blast with this guy. Really, and talking about the Mets. He was an Atlanta fan, so I was picking on him.
Oh.
But we just really had a great conversation. Lisa, who is a big woman of faith, so it turns out this guy's buddy who he was with, he's a missionary who's living in Queens in the middle of a Muslim neighborhood. He's the only white guy in the neighborhood, but he's trying to convert people. Very interesting story. I would never do that. God's honest truth. I would just never do that.
Yeah, I don't think I would do that either. No.
But I give that guy credit. That's got to be a hard life to lead. So, we kind of had a nice conversation with these guys. The guy that I was talking to lives in Tennessee. Lisa and I think we've been talking about maybe going to Graceland for because we like to. She gets a lot of time off in August because she works off a school calendar. So we try to go away for maybe 2-3 days.
Yeah.
So we're talking about maybe going to Graceland this year.
Nice.
So I said that to the guy. I said, Tennessee. I said, we might be going to Nashville, to see Graceland. And he goes, oh, all right. Well, let's exchange numbers. I'll meet you for lunch or something. I was like, oh, okay, cool. This guy's name is Wim. W-I-M.
Oh, come on.
Wim. His parents grew up in the Netherlands. His real name is Wilhelm. It's not just Wilhelm. It's Wilhelmio or something. It's Wilhelm, but it keeps going.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? He goes, so they just call me Wim for short.
Wim.
I go, is that a common name in the Netherlands? He goes, actually it is. I was like,
Wim or Wilhelm?
Well, Wilhelm. But he said he knows. He has spent time in the Netherlands because he still has family there. He knows, I think he said 2 or 3 other Wims. I said, well, I'll never forget you. I said, because you're the only Wim I'm ever going to meet my whole life.
Wow, you really went out on a whim there.
I knew you were going to say that. God, I knew I should have had the bat. So we had a really great time. It was a lot of fun. It would have been better if the Mets won. Those sons of bitches. All right, so Johnson. Oh, you have a story. Go ahead.
You know, as you know, I had my thyroid removed, right?
Yeah.
So ever since I got my thyroid removed, I don't know, 12, 13 years ago, I noticed the change of seasons. My body has a hard time adjusting to the temperature.
Really?
So I understand where Lisa's coming from. Sometimes if it could be 75 degrees out, I'll have a jacket on. Or I'm noticing my heat intolerance is getting worse and worse every year. Like this heat, I feel like I'm lightheaded. It's really bad.
So you're like your wimpy pal down in Florida there. He couldn't take the cold, so he left. You can't take the heat, so you're going to move to Canada.
Okay.
Basically, the point is you guys are a couple of wimps. That's the point of the story.
We're a couple of whims.
My buddy Rob, who was in here that day playing, where we had to guess the tunes.
Oh yeah.
He lived in Florida for a while, and when he first moved down there, it killed his allergies.
Really?
It took him about 2 months to get used to the weather down there, but he was sick the whole time, sick as a dog the whole time. And then when he came back, same thing. It took him about 2 months to get used to the New York weather again, sick as a dog the whole time. Yeah, eventually, but now.
Can I throw out a term to you in regards to the heat?
Oh, God.
That soldiers used to use. I think I may have coined it. I don't know.
I doubt it.
During Desert Storm.
Yeah.
You know, as you know, the desert is very hot.
Yeah.
So I started saying, man, it's hotter than a snake's ass. So I'd like to put that into the universe. Feel free to use it.
Are snakes known to have hot asses?
Well, I think they're sealed. I don't know.
So
the inside of a snake's got to be hot.
But the inside of any ass is hot, isn't it?
You don't
like. Why
you
are we
don't
singling
find that
out
a
the
little humorous?
snakes?
Well, first of all, I don't like snakes. I have a phobia against snakes.
No, see, but it doesn't make sense to me. That's the whole point. Like as cold as a witch's tit. Like I've never got.
Yeah,
that either.
I don't
like,
get
what does
that either.
mean?
I don't get that.
But it's the same thing.
Those acronyms, I don't get it. I don't know. I was walking with my buddy in the desert once. I'm like, man, it's hotter than a snake's ass, and he laughed, and I'm like, huh, that's funny. But but I'm sure if you took a rectal thermometer and put it in a snake's ass, it would be 130 degrees.
Oh, because they're in the desert?
Yeah.
So, all right. So again, that would go for anything that's in the desert.
Oh, come on! You can't even go along with anything.
It's as hot as Mike's ass when he's in the desert. Like it's the same thing.
But I believe snakes' bodies are hot, or their core temperature is higher than human bodies.
Is that true?
I'm making this up.
That's what I thought.
But it sounded pretty good, didn't it?
It did, but then I was going to say, but then the joke requires a lot of thinking, which it shouldn't. Carol Miner sitting in the treatment room with Big Mike. Announcement: Mike's last treatment.
Oh, very nice.
That is fantastic.
Wow, that's
congratulations to Mike. Congratulations to Carol. Congratulations to Zach. That is huge news. In fact, this guy Wim was telling me last night when I told him about my leg story. His mother had breast cancer, survived it, got it in the other boob, survived, but that time she survived it, but she was given. He claimed at one point she was given a 7% chance of survival. She's now still cooking and is cancer free.
Wow.
Yeah. Again, this is what he told me. I'm assuming since he's a man of
how,
God, he's
how
not
old
making
is
shit up.
Wim?
Wim is, what did he say, 44, I think he said?
Oh, younger than us.
Yeah. So congratulations to them. Congratulations, Carol, Mike, and Zach. That is super news. Very excited for you guys. I hope you guys are going to do something fun to celebrate.
Absolutely.
And we look forward to many, many years of anniversaries of being cancer-free. And that's what you go by. You go by the date of your last treatment. That's the day you go by, like when your anniversary of being cancer-free, you go by your the last day of treatment.
So it's not when the doctor claims you're in remission. It's your last day of treatment.
That's what my doctor told me, that you go by your last day of treatment.
Nice.
I mean, I mean, technically, your last day of treatment, you are in remission from that point on because it's gone. You're done. So, I mean, I still have to go to doctor's visits, and I'm sure Mike will have to go to doctor's visits for a while. But you're still, as of today, he's cancer-free.
Nice.
So, and John says, great news, Carol. Ring that bell. That's right.
Ring the bell, yes.
Yeah. I didn't get to do that. I didn't do that.
You didn't get, really?
No. I didn't even know that was a thing until after I was sick.
I thought it was, I had a neighbor that lost a child.
Oh.
Yeah. But he was in remission and he rang the bell. Is it just for kids?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
It's for everyone, right?
I'm pretty sure it's
all
everyone.
ages.
Yeah. Carol says, wanted to share with the knockers. Very nice.
The knockers.
From I'm not reading that. When Chris Monty goes to a baseball game, he looks at his ticket so he knows where to sit. Knows, N-O-S-E. Yeah. Chris had a nickel for every nose joke.
Sure.
Yeah, Carol says, thanks. Got to go ring the bell. Yeah, okay.
Nice.
Oh, and there's Charles Sturdivant. Charles, we were talking about you earlier.
I hope you heard my little diatribe.
Mike did apologize. Charles, I want you to know, Mike apologized. We played a quick video of you from Saturday night in this room with me and Don and Emily Santosis. And then Mike did apologize. However, he did agree that if you wanted to come in here and slap him once in each cheek, and then maybe ass cheek too, maybe I don't, because I think you might like that. He did agree to let you do that. So next Wednesday, come on in and you can slap Mike in the face. God. Ann says yes. That's awesome, Carol. Have you in my prayers. Very nice. John says he rang the bell twice and he's still here. Ava is watching. She goes, "What's up, buddies?" Oh, now buddies
Ava.
Or baddies? Oh, baddies. Baddies.
Yeah.
Oh, you knew that?
Yeah.
How did you know that?
Because that's a term she often uses.
Oh, for just anybody, or just you?
No.
Oh, just
in
anybody.
general.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Ann says she likes Hershey and the Keegs. Charles says he is 59 years old. Oh, all right. Mike is 60, so I said you're around his age. Okay, I was close. I read that the other day. I'm not reading that again. Ann says, Ann, I had no idea. She says, Charles, I turned 66 a couple of weeks ago. You know what? I did know that because you said it that time when it was your birthday. Enjoy 59 while you can. Life changes in your 60s. Oy, oy, oy.
It is funny. When I turned 60, I felt different.
Really? Like that day, December 15th?
Yeah.
Really?
Even the ensuing days, you feel like maybe it's mentally,
it's mental.
part physically. Yeah,
You're very mental.
Huh? Sentimental?
No. Not experimental.
Ornamental?
Ornamental. No. Scott says, Tony, you said Lisa is a big woman of faith. I think you mean she's a woman of big faith. Yes, that's exactly what I meant. If you look at the picture, you can see that there's...
That's a wonderful picture of her, by the way.
I love it myself. I think it came out great. Yeah,
great picture.
She's...
that's a printable picture.
A printable picture. She's not a big woman at all.
Is she a Met fan like you?
No. She enjoys going to the game just to... she enjoys going to games because she enjoys the atmosphere and stuff. But no. And and there were plenty of times she was like, the crowd is roaring and she's one of those, what happened? What happened? I'm like, just, you see the ball flew out that way. Yeah. Ann is asking Charles if he's a first-time watcher. No, he's not because he watched last week and he got mad at Mike. Ann says, it's nice to meet you, Charles. Rusciola says, I'm not a wimp. I am just a pussy. Okay. Ann says, I can tell you all about the desert magic, Mike, with a bunch of hearts. So I think Ann said that. I think she just invited you out there for sex. Wow. That's what it sounds like to me. What? Relative humidity down south means the sweat between two cousins, says Fremder. Not every ass is hot if you're I can't even read that. I have no idea what that says. Now Ann knows who Charles is. Okay.
My brother lives in California, Ann, but he's not into women.
Sorry, Ann.
Sorry, Ann.
But maybe we'll send Charles out there. We'll send Charles out there to meet your brother.
They're around the same age.
Charles was sitting here. It was a Pride show in the Giga Room. Surprised you weren't here. And Oscar Aiden, who was also on the show that day, that guy was at it. That guy was a lot of fun, and he was hitting on Charles. Charles, did you and Aiden? Did you and Oscar, talk? Did you hook up?
Any fireworks?
Yeah. Scott, how is it that we had Megan and Diane on this week, and somehow today's co-host has the biggest bosom? Tomorrow we got some women in here as well.
Oh, God.
Friday, Rosie will be in here. Scott said that.
Scott.
So, yeah, a lot of beautiful women in here this week.
Scott, you have no idea.
I'm not even looking at you right now.
In my pocket.
All right. What's the matter?
Oh, I got it. It might have went. It's a mint.
It's
a mint. Might have went through the wash, but I don't care.
Well, all right. Maybe you'll die now.
Tastes like Tide. It's a Tide Pod.
Tide Pod. Maybe it is. See ya. Don't die in here, please. Go outside.
Too much paperwork.
So we've been talking about baseball a little bit. Did you see last night the Arizona Diamondbacks infielder Ketel Marte, Ketel, Kettle? I think it's Ketel. So he was on the on-deck circle to go up to bat, right? Mm-hmm. And I believe they were playing in Chicago. Yeah, they were playing the Chicago White Sox. No, so that would be Comiskey, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's called Comiskey.
Oh, it's not. Yeah, I know. I'm old. So he's on deck, and a Chicago White Sox fan was taunting him because about his mother, who had died in 2017 in a car accident.
What?
Yeah. So apparently this White Sox fan was picking on him in regards to this poor player's mother who died in a car crash back in 2017. Apparently this guy, Ketel Marte, was very upset. So after they were done at bat for that inning, they're now in the field. I think Marte is he a third baseman? Does it say here? It just says he's an infielder. I forget exactly what position, but either way, he's an infielder. So, when you're on the field and the manager comes out to change pitchers, usually all the infielders will come in and they'll gather on the mound and have a quick meeting while they're changing pitchers. So all the infielders come in. They're all on the mound with the manager. And there's Ketel, and he's crying. And the manager starts hugging him, and he's whispering. And this guy, he's crying. And then they talk to the manager after the game. And they're like, can you explain? He goes, yeah. He goes, the poor guy was getting picked on about his mother. And then the manager, during this press conference, he starts crying. He goes, I love my players like my own kids. I've known Marte for 9 years. He goes, I protect my players. I love them. I protect them. He goes, and it just the stuff that was being said to him hit a major nerve.
So it made him miss his mother, probably relive everything about losing his mother.
He's standing on. I mean, you go back and the video, the clip is on. I should have brought it. I didn't even think to do it. I mean, it's clear as day. He's standing there, and he's, you see the tears. You see the manager hugging him and talking to him. Even after they were done, he's still standing there crying. It was interesting.
That's interesting and yet very moving. Did you ever watch the show Ted Lasso?
I never did.
There's a great scene in one of the episodes in accordance to this. It's a little different because it involves anger.
Okay.
One of the players, Ted Lasso's players, goes into the crowd because he's being taunted, which obviously is you're going to get thrown out of the league. And Roy Kent, who is a famous character, he said, people think just because they buy a ticket, they could do or say anything to the players.
It's just the same here.
It's the same thing. You can't. Like, Like, I'm a little pissed off at Juan Soto. I don't think he hustles. I think he's grossly overpaid. There, I said it. I'm sorry. Is he a great player? Yes. And I don't think he's hit his stride yet with the Mets. Because but with that said, I would not. Are you all right?
I missed, so I just picked it up again.
I'm trying to tell a story here.
Oh, yeah. How does it feel? Every time I tell a story.
That's hysterical. That's physical comedy.
Sorry. What were you saying? I'm on my phone. What? The difference is, as I'm throwing up my bottle, I was listening to every word you said.
I know. So
please
it doesn't
continue.
give us the right if we buy a ticket to taunt anybody.
Absolutely right. They did manage to actually find the guy.
They
did,
did.
and they threw him out.
And they should ban him.
Yeah. I just never saw that before. It was I thought that was very interesting. I got a few.
There was another guy.
I'm sure there were lots of guys.
No, there was another guy that went into the stands from the bullpen the other night.
Oh yeah, and he took a swing at the guy.
Take a swing. Yeah, so
yeah.
He's obviously getting suspended for half a year or something.
Was that a Pittsburgh player, I think?
Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah, I forget the details there, but
yeah, some fan was taunting him or something. No, I think they threw something.
See, that's different to me. You have every right to go smack the guy if he throws something at you.
Yeah.
Remember that happened at the Yankee game 2 years ago? I think it was Cleveland they were playing. The Cleveland player in left field, they started throwing something. He ran out there.
Yes,
he hopped the fence
I do.
too.
He hopped the fence.
And then they started barraging him with objects, which I thought was disgusting. But no, you should never throw
I'm
anything.
divorcing myself.
So,
because Yankee Met fans don't do those sorts of things.
I
have
can't.
yet, and I've been to Citi Field 10 times more than Yankee Stadium.
Yeah,
I have never seen Met fans arrogant like that. Never.
I'm sure there must be sometimes, but I honestly can't recall them though, which is says a lot about them. I have a few dark items here.
Ooh.
Fitness influencer Gloria Zamora was on a date the other night. I have never heard of this woman before.
Me either.
She's on a date. She's in the process of getting divorced. The estranged husband somehow...
Estranged or estranged?
Estranged.
Okay.
What did I say?
You said estranged. Like estranged.
Oh, I left out the G
yes,
at the end. The estranged husband, somehow, it's not known how he knew, but he knew where she was.
Uh-oh.
He went there, shot her, and killed her. This woman was 40 years old. She has 7 kids, ranging from the age of 24 to 8. And now their mother's gone. I couldn't believe that. I thought that was just terrible.
Wow.
Yeah. So I shared that story.
Where did that happen? Does it say?
I think it was in California.
California.
Yeah, Fontana, California. Ann, is that near you? Fontana, California. Another. Another. So I have a few disgusting stories, some dark stories. We're talking about the heat. Yesterday, a Patchogue man. A Patchogue man was arrested after he left his 2-year-old son in the car while shopping at Walmart. Center Reach Mall around 1:40 p.m. Center Reach is out there. Patchogue is out east. John used to live there. You used to live there.
So that Walmart is on Middle Country Road in Center Reach, yeah.
Okay. It was 1:40 in the afternoon, so it was pretty hot at that time. Somebody was walking by, saw the kid sleeping in the parked car. The car was not running. The windows were only slightly open. So somebody saw that and called 911.
Thank goodness.
Oh, yeah. As the officers, it doesn't say, but somehow they were able to get in and unlock the door and then get the kid. As they were doing this, the father came out. Kenyrold, Keniarold, Kenyrold.
Wow.
Kenyrold Andre, 36 years old. He was charged with endangering the welfare of a child. The child was in the car for at least 20 minutes. How do you leave a 2-year-old unattended, first off? But in that heat, the outside temperature was 100 degrees. There was a heat index warning, like I said earlier. At one point with the heat index, it felt like it was 105. And this asshole leaves his 2-year-old in the car unattended in that heat.
I think he should just be shot and killed.
He should be charged with attempted murder.
I agree. Absolutely.
And yes, charged with attempted murder, welfare of the child, whatever else you can think of. But then set him free. Set him free and, but ensure that the people of Patchogue or
everybody knows what he did.
Right.
Yes.
And ensure them that nothing will happen to them for whatever they do to this asshole, 10-year-old Andre, 36, of Patchogue. Go look him up.
Kenny-year-old.
Kenny-year-old. Kenny-year-old.
I still don't understand.
Fucking
people
jerk.
can do that.
What are you thinking? What are you thinking?
To go into Wally World.
Right. What you have to do at Walmart is so important. So, yeah. 10-year-old Andre. Another weird story. Robert Trotta. Do you know that name?
Yeah, he's a politician. He was getting stalked.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going with this.
Because a friend of mine is actually running against him, I believe.
Oh, really?
Up on the North Shore, yeah.
Yeah, he's running for Town of Smithtown supervisor position, another town that's out east. The primary is scheduled for this Tuesday. Trotta, a Republican who represents Suffolk County's 13th legislative district, is running against the incumbent Edward Weirhelm. So he's a friend of yours? Werheim. I was close. Trotta reported to police that between June 16th and June 18th, a white 1989 Chevrolet pickup was parked in the driveway of his home. And on more than one occasion, it happened on more than one occasion, and every time he was there, he would rev his engine to intimidate him and his family. Joshua Smith, 47 of Kings Park, which is near Smithtown, was arrested Monday. He's charged with 4th-degree stalking. What is wrong with you people? What is going on here? And sticking with that theme of stalking.
I never understood stalking. I have to be honest with you. I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
We just don't have the mentality. Whatever.
Look at this guy. This guy is jacked. He's holding just a giant piece of beef. This guy is named Brian Johnson. Apparently, I never heard of the guy, but apparently he was famous a few years ago. He was known as the Liver King. This guy was claiming that raw meat is all you need for perfect health, and apparently eating raw meat is how this guy got this build. A raw meat lifestyle. So, yeah.
Looks like there's blood all over his hand and wrist and his leg, his shorts.
Is there?
Yeah, look at.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah. You're right. Maybe there is. I don't know.
What?
So apparently, though, this guy got. So apparently, Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan exposed this guy. Apparently, this guy was full of shit, and he was roiding up, and Rogan exposed it.
Okay.
So this guy was like, he had some fame, and he had some kind of business, maybe selling raw meat or something. I don't know what his deal was, but he became famous, and he was like an influencer, and I'm sure, had a business going. But after Rogan exposed him, it all came crashing down. So this guy started making like these weird videos threatening Rogan. But from what I understand, a lot of these videos were like long and rambling, nonsensical. But sure enough, when was this? Last night. Apparently last night, the guy showed up outside Rogan's home in Austin, Texas. And there's video. Apparently, once he got to Austin, Texas, he made videos saying, Rogan, I'm coming for you. But yeah, he got arrested outside of Rogan's home. There's videos of that too. Yeah, of him getting arrested outside the home, and he's been arrested. He's being held without bond.
Without really?
Yeah. Oh, so he was. Yeah, so he had a supplement empire. So I guess supplements and raw meat was his business. Wow, $11,000 a month in steroids. This guy it came out that he was using.
Wow.
So, which totally, because he was claiming his physique was all natural and the result of a raw meat-based diet. And he often boasted about eating every part of an animal from its livers to its testicles. I didn't see that until now. Holy crap. Okay. So, yeah.
My question is, why is he being held without bond?
I don't know.
Because obviously that's a serious charge when they don't give you bail.
Yeah.
Because it's bail before jail, so you better not fail.
Well, you're proud of yourself on that one, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So let's see which one. We have about 10 minutes left. All right. All right. I'll do this one because you're Jewish. A woman, I think this might have been in Colorado, maybe. A woman posted that she's a waitress, and she posted that she was waiting on a particular couple at a restaurant, and it was a couple, and she had some good banter with them and got along well with them, did a lot of joking around. And when the couple paid for their dinner, they did not leave a tip. The woman caught up to them as they were leaving, asked them if there was a problem. The man thought it was very rude of her to ask. She basically insinuated, hey, there was no tip.
Right.
I think she may have said that to him at one point. She tried to explain to him that, tipping is a big part of her income.
Absolutely.
This apparently pissed the guy off. He went to the manager. The manager demanded that the woman apologize. She refused, so she was fired. Thoughts? As a Jewish man who probably doesn't tip much.
Well, what's odd is everybody makes fun of Jewish people.
I'm joking.
I know you're joking, because myself, my dad, most Jewish people that I know, and my father was Jewish. I was raised Catholic, but anyway, Jewish people are usually very generous. I'm a big tipper. My father was a big tipper.
Nice. Are you stroking out? Hello?
I'm not stroking out. I'm thinking of the right way to say this. I think this story has been told before. There's been other servers,
and we've talked about
that
it
have walked
on the
out.
show before.
That have walked out and not chased someone down and said, "Was there an issue with the service?"
Yeah, it happened to me once. I'm a big tipper too, and I honestly just forgot. I actually was it? Yeah, it was me and Rob Safarth. We were out to dinner. We just forgot. So the girl came out after us, and so we ended up giving her something.
Yeah,
but it was a weird feeling.
I don't see anything wrong with if a server goes outside of that eatery and says, "Was there an issue?" It is their livelihood, because I think their wage is very small.
Yes.
So they live on gratuities.
Right.
That's my opinion.
But is it a broader topic? Is there a bigger issue here of why, like, we're the only country that does this. You get people from other countries, they're like, what? What is this? What? And they don't understand it.
Yeah, there's a lot of countries that don't.
Yeah. I don't think any place in Europe does it, if I'm not mistaken.
When I was in Italy, I did.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But do they do that in Italy, or are you just
Good
used
question.
to doing it?
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't. Okay,
I don't know.
I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure nobody tips in Europe. I know it definitely in England because I've been there.
Then their wages must be higher.
Right.
'cause why would
That's
they
my
be doing
point.
it?
That I think that in other countries they're paid accordingly, and yeah, tipping is not a thing. Like I said, I've met people that aren't from the U.S. where they had no idea what I was even talking about. I've had conversations with other people that are not from this country that are like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life, and I refuse to do it. And there's a point there. Like, we're paying enough. Shouldn't these people just get paid accordingly?
I agree. Like the restaurant should be paying a decent wage.
Right. Oh, shit. Hi, honey.
Hi, Stucky Lumps.
What are you doing?
I actually can add to your tipping story.
Okay. Well, a tipping story for you is a completely different story than what I'm telling.
But mine is completely different.
Oh, well,
So
right.
I find for myself there is like a rule that I have to do it
Okay.
because I know so many people in the serving industry. So I understand where they come from. So I make sure that no matter what, I'm always tipping 25%.
Which is very generous,
That
right?
is generous, yeah.
And I'm with you. I always, if any of the girls here, because I love this place and I love the staff here. All of them are wonderful. If I ask any of these girls for anything, I make sure I throw them a few bucks.
And
Absolutely.
I'm with him 25%.
Yeah. Oh, I do at least 20. Absolutely. Yeah.
So I recently went out to dinner with the name I should have known for Clinton yesterday, which was William something Blythe.
Right.
So we actually went out to dinner recently, and I'm not
She
going to say the name of the
deserves
place.
it. She deserves
Yeah.
to be taken out to dinner every night for putting up with you.
If I only made that much money. So moving on from that. But the thing was, the service was actually horrendous.
Oh, wow.
And it's a well-known eating location. And, got to the table, no utensils. I had to actually, when food came, I was like, hey, do you do with hands or with utensils here? I was like, oh, let me get you utensils. I was like, oh, okay. While everybody else, was getting utensils, no problem.
Yeah.
And then, the drinks were finished. I'm watching the same waiter come around asking, can I get you anything? Can I get you anything? And I'm sitting there looking at him, and he disappeared. I was like, what, can I have another drink? Hello? Hi? Oh, okay, I'll be right back. And then, after everything's all said and done, I was like, do you guys have a dessert menu? Oh, yeah, because he just handed me the bill. We're just going to eat and go. I was
Wow.
like, can we have a dessert menu? So the whole thing was, and then I tipped him the 25%. He goes, thank you so much. And for the first time, I actually turned around, like, kiss my ass, and left.
You actually said that?
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
That was the first time I was pissed off. My thing was, I do not make it a thing of where reflecting their tip of their service. I understand everybody is working, but at the same time, I just want them to know that they were, they weren't doing their job, and or they were being a jerk off to me because I was like, hello, I'm part of your job tonight, but I wasn't going to change how I tip. Most people will go ahead and go like, oh, I got shitty service, I'm leaving them $1.
Yeah.
But I don't do that. I understand everyone's here to make money and work for a living, but I just had to tell you how my story was completely different on how the other assholes who just walked out completely and didn't tip.
And this was a well-known restaurant, you said?
Yes.
Taking Blythe out to McDonald's does not count as taking her out to dinner.
Listen, I only do top notch, and that's like, the shitty place I've been talking about for years, and that's Chili's.
So you're going to say the Embassy Diner?
No, come on. Those things are run by cops. I wouldn't run. No.
Wow.
All right, you guys have a great day. I love you much. Bye.
Bye, Jeff. Jeff Bosey checking in. Oh, wow. It's just about time to go. All right, so let me I would just to me the bigger problem is the fact that we have to tip. You know, like we pay enough for meals and whatever, and then we have to and then it's become even worse too where like you go to I was joking when I said McDonald's, but you go to even a fast food restaurant and they have a jar, for tips.
Yeah, you go to delis, you go to these local, even the place right here.
Oh yes, right. They have a tip jar. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what he has to yell at us about. Hello, sir.
How are you? You're talking about a tipping subject, and it's something very sore to me.
Oh.
So this is the opposite of not tipping too much. I was in a restaurant years ago, and it wasn't too long ago, and it was in Manhattan. It was a very a classy restaurant, and I had great service, and I had a wonderful meal, and the bill came, and I don't use credit cards. I have credit cards. I don't use them. I don't like them, but that's my own personal reason. So I look at the bill, and I never analyze the bill. If the bill is whatever it is, I pay it, and I tip accordingly, and I do leave 25 to 30%. So Dawn looks at the bill, and after I paid the bill, she turns around, she says, "Did you tip them?" I said, "Yes." She said, "The tips was included." She said, if you read the bill, this restaurant, the tip was included, and I found that very offensive. Very offensive.
Offensive that they included it, or the fact that you paid extra and they didn't tell you?
Yeah, exactly. Both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Both. Okay. And so I went back to the waiter, and I said, "Excuse me." I said, "Why didn't you tell me that the tip was included in the bill?" And he just said, "Well," he said, I assumed." I said, "Well, how can you assume?" Anyway, to make a long story short, I was going to ask for my money back, but being the wimp and the pussy that I am, I didn't.
Yes.
All right, but I found it very offensive.
Was it too cold?
And I understand a lot of restaurants do this now.
I know for bigger parties, they say usually 50%, 15% is included in the price.
Oh yeah. Well, right, because that's the thing. They usually I can understand why this guy assumed that, because they include it in the bill, or they'll suggest, but they'll specify that their suggestions. So if you would like to pay more, you can. So that's probably why this guy assumed that.
Yeah, well, I just I just think I think that's a bad practice of a restaurant.
No, I agree, but I
understand.
I understand why you didn't argue it, because the restaurant was probably cold with air conditioning and you couldn't take it, so you had to get out of there.
You're absolutely right. Okay.
Yep,
Do I
know
make
you.
fun of your handicap? I never once called you Stumpy. Okay. Don't make fun of my handicap. I find it very offensive. All right, I moved down to Florida because I couldn't take the cold. All right, is that a problem with you?
No, that's not a problem with me at all.
Okay, so why do you have to bring this up? I love when I shake you up. I love when I shake you up. You never think you think I'm serious.
I didn't think you were serious for a second. You didn't shake me up at all on this one.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, all right. Well, I moved down to Florida for the reasons of being comfortable. Okay.
As you sit there snuggling with your little chicken, or what is that thing again?
What?
It's hey.
What is hey?
Hey, it's a chicken.
Oh, it is a chicken. I was right. Okay.
It's a chicken. Yeah, everybody thinks it's a parrot. It's a chicken.
It looks like a parrot to me. Dawn took some family to Disney.
Oh, hey is from Moana.
Moana, very good.
Moana.
See, it takes
Well,
Michael to know this.
I have two granddaughters.
He collects Hello Kitty and he watches Moana, and that's why he goes to Pride
shade
Night.
at Hello Kitty.
Oh, I'm totally throwing shade. So they bought him a little hey stuffed animal.
That's cool.
And he's been snuggling with it ever since.
Hey was
Don't say it's cool. It upsets John. Nothing's cool.
Hey is very cool.
John doesn't he doesn't like the cold. Nothing is cool.
No, but Hey, the character in Moana was a very funny little character.
I
Did
got
you
that.
See the film?
No, of course I didn't. I'm not.
Why?
Because I'm not
you
a
have
pussy.
A daughter.
And if I take whatever movie she wants to see. She didn't want to see that.
Did you ask her?
No, because I didn't want her to say yes.
Listen, you were just complaining that you were sweating your balls off. You were just complaining you were sweating your balls off, and
Yes.
you had to go to get relief because you were overheated.
Correct. Like a normal person.
And no, that's not a normal person. You're supposed to be this great Met fan. The other guy next to you is supposed to be this great Yankee fan. That's why both teams are losing, because you're both of you are at a kiss of death. All right,
You're absolutely right.
With the tattoo on his arm. Show your arm there, Michael. Show your Yankees tattoo. And now he's going to the Mets for reasons that we won't discuss. But that's a story for a different day.
Yeah, he could bust my. I've been doing it for years.
Yeah, what are you out of your mind? You were sitting in my garage praising the Yankees for years. All of a sudden, you had to change your heart. Let's not go there.
Okay.
Don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to have to apologize. But the bottom line is this: and you, all right, this great Met fan. Oh my God, it was brutal. Oh God, stick it out, man.
I did. I stayed at the game and I went back to I cooled off for 2 innings and went back to my seat for the rest of the game.
Doesn't count.
It totally counts. I stuck it out for the whole game.
You gotta be a diehard. You gotta be a diehard. Listen, the players are out there. They don't. Their bullpen is not air conditioned.
The bullpen's getting paid millions of dollars to stand out there.
Oh,
but it is air conditioned.
There you go. The bullpen is air conditioned. Hotshot. Take that.
Yeah, where they sit, you'll see they'll be in a little enclosed area. It's air conditioned.
And by the way,
and they have coolers in the.
That's the last time I've been to a game.
Yeah,
my day it wasn't.
And by the way,
at Yankee Stadium there was no air conditioning anyway. There was no air conditioning in the United States.
And by the way, I had my hand on my heart facing the flag while the guy sang the national anthem. And the guy's face, the guy singing, his face was on the monitor the whole time.
The Jumbotron?
That's the way it's supposed to be.
All right.
That's the way it's supposed to be. That's nothing wrong with that. Not waving that rainbow flag. All right? All right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got nothing else to say? All right, both of you got nothing else to say?
Nothing else to say.
Both of you.
Okay. Well, listen, you have a great rest of the day.
Hey, right back at you. You and Hey.
Hey. I love it.
And just remember one thing: keep your legs crossed. Bye.
I can't. I'm not able to. All right, let me finish with comments, and then we're gonna get out of here. All right. I think the point being is that we need to fix the tipping situation. That's what I was.
Yeah.
I think I was trying to make. I think. Let's see. Where were we? What the hell was that?
I just went.
Yeah, and I asked you what the hell was that?
Just a little sound effect leading up to your readings.
Okay. Ann says that's okay, Mike. I'm not looking. I don't know what that was referring to. I said, the guy hit a nerve when he was getting made fun of about his mother. So Fremda says, hit a nerve? I'm no expert, but aren't you supposed to hit the ball in baseball? You needed to get that?
No. Sorry.
Oh, Fremda. I'm not reading that one either. Fontana, California, and knows it well. That's where I flashed a few truck drivers on the back of my Bros 59 Panhead.
Huh?
You flashed truck drivers? Why are we just finding this out now? You could have
Oh.
You could have flashed us that day. We had you on Zoom. We couldn't hear you. The audio sucked. But you could have sat there flashing us. Oh, Andrew's watching. Hi, everyone. I'm late. Yes, you are. You're very late. Damn it. Sorry about your Mets, Tony. Yeah, me too. My Yankees suck too. Have a great Wednesday. You too, Andrea. Fremder, please don't break up with me. Okay, I think it's going to work, but I'll give it a shot. I have no idea what he's talking about. Okay. We're going to get out of here in a minute. I know we're running late. Fremder, what? I'm not reading that one either. Ann and Andrea are saying hi to each other. Have you seen some of the people that shop at Walmart? Why are you surprised, this Fremder? I get that. Scott, female fitness influencer equals a woman with huge assets. Yeah.
You heard about Sydney Sweeney, that young actress? She's selling her bathwater in soap form.
I did hear about that. Yeah. And then who was I talking to about that? Somebody I was talking. I might have been Rosie or Diane. I think it was Rosie, where I actually. I don't think I've ever said it on the air until that day, but I would say it to. I've been saying it for years to various friends and stuff. I think there are enough weirdos out there.
Oh, absolutely. So
that
too.
If they
market it properly,
if was it Gwyneth Paltrow that was selling candles that had the aroma of her Gigi or her Vivi, her vag,
her VJ.
I've been saying it for years that if they took I did talk about it on here because I remember saying, "Mom, cover your ears." I said if they just had if they took a little bit of pussy juice from famous actresses and put it in maybe deodorant spray or even a drink, Nicole Kidman flavored Sprite. You know what? I think there are widows out there that would buy it.
So do I.
And yeah, people are selling their own bathwater, so that just proves my point. Fremder, I'm a big tipper, said the rabbi soon after I was born. Okay. Ann's going, have a good day, Ann. Scott says, I'm making a movie called Times New Roman. I don't get it. Bosie, it's like that old joke. Hey, I have a problem with the bill. I didn't order any gratuity. Fremder, I guess prostitution will be cheaper with no tax on tips. Scott, there's a certain comedy club that adds 18% gratuity to their bill automatically that doesn't tell their customers before the bill comes, not naming any names. Oh. All right, Scott, you're going to have to apologize if you want to stay on this show. Bosie. Bosie says, Scott, that's all comedy clubs, just in case you only went to one. Yeah, I will back Bosie on that. I've been to comedy clubs in the city that do that.
The economy is really bad.
How bad is it?
Prostitutes giving away toasters.
That's no way close to so funny that you're cracking. That was not that funny. And it's dated. Nobody gives out toasters anymore.
I know, it's a Rodney joke.
I know that. Fremder, yeah. Mike, what kind of noise was that? You sound like the first fart after a rectal exam.
God.
All right. With that, it is time to go. All right. So today is Wednesday. We're actually done for the day. There is no circling the drain tonight. That's the bad news. No circling the drain tonight. Good news. Circling the drain is on tomorrow night. Coffee with the dog tomorrow morning at 9. Me and Frank are in here tomorrow with what's their name? Impressions? Some singers. I think that's what they're called. Hang on. I'll tell you in a second. Where is it?
Well, Thursday is Musical Thursday.
Thursday's Musical Thursday. So me and Frank will be in here. Illusion. Excuse me. I said impression. Illusion. A tribute to women who rock. I believe one of the singers in that band is Joanna Monte, who has been on this show before. So that's who's joining me and Frank tomorrow. You got so Coffee with the Dog at 9, me and Frank with Illusion at 11, Sports Bash at 1 o'clock. Special time tomorrow for Primal Scream at Nick Greystone. That's tomorrow at 6 p.m. And then I sometime after that, I think 8 o'clock is Circling the Drain. Special day, special time. All right. And with that, so that's what's happening at Gov's Comedy Club podcast. Please spread the word and tell everybody you know about all the great shows here. And let's not forget Governor's Comedy Club, the main club here in Levittown, the Giggle Room in Levittown, the Brokerage in Belmore, McGuire's out in Bohemia. Martin Amini, Friday and Saturday here in the main club. Sunday, I can't push it enough. One of my favorite acts, the Uncle Louie Variety Show, is here Sunday at the club in Levittown. Love those guys. They're going to be here Sunday. Also Sunday, at the Suffolk Theater in Riverhead, Governors presents One Funny Lisa Marie. Let's see. In the Giggle Room Friday, Terry McNeely, Mike Tanzi, Nicole Monaco, Joe Winchell, just some of the comedians performing that night. Also in the Giggle Room Saturday night, Megan Hanley, who you saw here on Monday. There's the flyer for the show. Yeah, go see Megan. She's wonderful. Big fan of her work. And just cool to hang out with. She's been on the show a few times. She's great. All right, let's see. Oh, jeez, I always do that. Hi, Carol.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Doing all right. How about yourself?
Okay, I just want to let you know we're home. He's done.
Hey, congratulations.
How are you celebrating?
He went right to his laptop to go to work.
Come on. All right, well... All right, well, the work day ends at 5, so you guys at least, would you just go to dinner at least?
Yeah, we're going to. We went out to dinner last night, just a little preemptive, but I think tonight we'll have to go out and celebrate if he's up to it, because,
Yeah, I get that. Well, then fine, when he's rested up, even if it's this weekend or something, because you both deserve it very much.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you. I just wanted to call before you guys got off. We just got home, and to thank you for everything and for everybody who listens and all their prayers. And we're just hoping this is it.
Absolutely,
yes, absolutely.
We're praying for the same. And congratulations, all the best to him. And tell him to not work. Just tell him to take a nap and lay there with him and snuggle and put your boobies on his face.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what he wants right now.
That would make me feel better. I know that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you guys just have a great day. Sorry I missed the show, and hi, Mike. I hope you guys had a good show. So you just and I guess the Mets and the Rangers got to get their heads out of their ass and start getting some runs.
Yeah, absolutely
your
right.
Team too is terrible.
So since I got nothing else left, it's only baseball. So we're just hoping, and that the Giants can actually pull something out, so I don't tune out in the first 2 games. So there you go.
Absolutely right.
So we're on the road.
Congratulations
so thank you.
again.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. You have a great day.
You too, Carol.
You too, Carol.
I love ya.
Love you too. Bye. All right, Mark Hirschman's calling me on my cell. Mark, I'm still on the air. Where was I? At the brokerage. John Rudnitsky is playing this weekend. The Laugh Off is also happening at the brokerage. I believe that's Sunday. At McGuire's, Luis Lopez, Friday and Saturday. And then don't forget at the Room at the Clubhouse, that's what it's called, the Room at the Clubhouse in East Hampton on July 9th, Tom Arnold. That's also a Governor's show. So that's what's happening. Still working on Tom Arnold getting in here, or at least Zoom or something. I had some contact with some of his people, but I have not heard from them in like 2 days, so I don't know, it might not happen. Go to govs.com, govs.com, and make some reservations to some great comedy shows. Gov's Comedy Club Podcast and knockemdeadcomedy.com. Go to our website and get information how you can hire us for all your events. With that, we are out. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. We'll see you guys tomorrow on all the shows, and we'll see you next week. I don't know what he's doing.
I'm not funny, so I have to fall back on making physical things funny, because I'm not a funny person. I admit it.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Okay.
Goodbye.